I know y'all tired of me because quite frankly, I'm tired of me. So let's get into it. Hello there. I hope you all are doing wonderful. I hope you all had a fabulous holiday season, a great new year, a very happy birthday, and I'm just happy to get back into it. The last time I was active on this platform or any platform, was October 10th. Yeah, October 10th. I remember it vividly because it was World Mental Health Day, and I shared a pretty vulnerable and raw and real post about my own struggles with mental health, which was really scary. Like, if I'm keeping it a buck with you, it was super scary. And if you know, like if you've been following Sickle Talk for a minute, you know that I've been having like a hectic, hard few years. And I think I needed a break. Like, you know, when you go through so much that you just keep putting things on your plate and the plate break. My plate was in like pieces, a million trillion pieces. It is shattered, baby. And I was just there to pick up the pieces, and I had to pick up the pieces bit by bit so that I can make my foundation stronger than it was before. But if I'm being completely honest, like, I did not have healthy mechanisms to process the things that I was going through in life. And I've always had like a lot going on in life. You know, I come here and I talk about sickle cell disease and my experiences with it, but baby, sickle cell disease is just like cherry on the cake, you know what I mean? Like, I have a lot of other things going on in life, like just like any other human, any other individual who has things going on in life, right? I'm just like that. People with chronic diseases are just like that, plus the chronic disease, which adds a whole extra layer of things that you need to work through. So I shut down, baby, like never before. Like, I've never experienced that in my life. I broke, literally, and I didn't know how to vocalize I broke. I didn't even know how to acknowledge I broke. I didn't even know how to put myself back together. So it was just like one hell of a show. And I don't want to go into detail of everything, right? But I do want to give people some perspective. So let's just go back a little. You know, in 2022, I graduated with my master's in public health with a concentration in epidemiology. So excited. I was looking forward to what was next in my career, in my life, and as many of the Bahamians in the Bahamas can relate, what we think sometimes is not really what happens. Like, it's just not a lot of opportunity. It's more difficult to get your foot in the door. And I just could not believe that I went through so much, trying to achieve my degree, trying to do well, and then to do well and want to come back home to the Bahamas, and just pour back into my country what I learned. And it was just like fighting to hell, fighting to get your foot in the door. And if you know me, you know I was just not an American girl. Like, I did not want to come to the USA. It was just a no for me. Just the thought alone made me sad. But I guess, you know, that's just what I needed to do. So I made the decision that I was going to come to the US, and I was just going to gain more exposure and just get out of my comfort zone. And I officially moved to the US on June 19th. Now, I don't know if you remember, but June 18th was my very first event back home. It was the testing event, the sickle cell know your status event on June 18th. And it was just an amazing event. And that night, my family and I, which is my mom, Kayla, my brother Alex, and my sister Xanth, and myself, Decrizia, we went home. And immediately when we got to home, it was like my mommy, her pants was on fire. Like, she was just like, you know, we need to talk, we need to sit down, we need to have a conversation. And I just was not in the mood, because I thought she was gonna tell us like something about family. And I was just like, girl, like, you're gonna take me off my high, and I cannot do it. And we all like sat down, and she just blurted out the words like, I have breast cancer. And when I tell you, like, I thought my time had come. I just could not fathom. I could not fathom the thought, oh Jesus, of losing a parent. And my mind just automatically went to the worst because my mom also has sickle cell. And if you know me, like, my dad is not involved in my life. Like, I don't really know my dad like that. So it just took me into a dark place that I've never been before. And I'm also the eldest of 3 kids. So my siblings look at me to set the tone. And it was hard. So I just went into a dark place. I've never been there. And then, you know, I had to get my stuff together because I had to get in a place to be there to support my mommy. Anyway, her surgery was great. Everything was successful. She was just amazing. But I put so much stress on my body and my mind. And if you know me, you know my biggest trigger, my biggest sickle cell crisis trigger ever is stress. And baby, I was stressed out. So my mom had surgery. She had 2 surgeries. The first one was in August 2023, and literally like 1 week after her surgery, I was hospitalized. And it was just like the worst hospitalization of my life. I think you could ask any person with sickle cell disease, like, who's really trying to do right and keep their body in a healthy place, like, and you know, they end up in a hospital in a bad place and they're already not mentally there. You have a conversation with them how hard it is to like pull yourself out of that dark place and fight to get out of the hospital and to get better. And like the road to recovery in the hospital ain't no recovery in the hospital. It's just like getting to a place where you could be discharged. Maybe the recovery is when you're discharged. That is the hard work. So it was just a horrible time in my life. Like, I just was in the pits, baby. I was in the pits, and I didn't even know how to really tell anybody I was in the pits. So I was still like trying to go on, and it was just like one thing after the next thing after the next thing after the next thing. Like, romantically, it was something. Like, friends, it was something. And I just was like, at the end of 2023, I was like, Lord, I don't have nothing else to give you. I have nothing else to give you. Like, I don't have anything else inside me to give anybody. And I just felt helpless. I felt unvalued, unwanted, unloved. I just felt like it was no place in the world for me. And I knew it was just like circumstances and what I was going through. Oh God, I ain't coming for this. This video is supposed to be like 3 minutes. I know I know I had to get myself out of this place. And it was hard because it was hard because no one around me in my family, my immediate family, understood like mental health challenges. And I felt like my entire social life had disintegrated. So like my support system wasn't there anymore. And I was just alone. I felt like I didn't have anybody. And I know I had people, but I felt so alone. So it just had to come to the point where I was just like, you know, you can't continue on like this. You have to figure it out. Like, you know, God put you on this earth for a reason. Like, you know, Jeremiah 29:11, like, you know he has a plan for you. You know his greatness over your life. You know that you are the solution to somebody's pain. You are the answer to somebody's question. So I had to get my shit together and pull myself out of that dark place. And I realized that I couldn't do it alone. So I went to therapy. I worked really hard the whole 2024. Anyway, I ran out of space, and clearly that was a great thing because I was just super emotional, and I didn't like, that wasn't my plan to like be so emotional. Like, I hate being like that. Anyway, like I had to get my stuff together, essentially. Like, I had to go and like seek help outside of friends, outside of family, outside of loved ones. Seek professional help. Like, sometimes people want to help you, but they don't have the tools to help you. Like, they're not capable of helping you the way you need help. And sometimes we have to be like isolated to realize that. So like, I had to seek help, and I couldn't show up for anybody else because I I couldn't show up for my friggin' self. Like, I could not show up for myself. And I feel like my entire time of having sickle talk, it's been like on and off and on and off and on and off. And like, essentially because I have not been able to function while going through all of this stress, and I've just been pushing through. And really, from a long time, I should have like pulled back and assessed and like implemented tools and mechanisms to deal with life. Because, excuse my French, but like, I have like a lot of shit going on. Like, I like real freaking life problems that no one knows, no one is privy to, and everyone just think you have like this perfect life, and it's not true. And I just hate that, because you suffer, you know. But I worked really hard, and I developed some great tools, and I built some boundaries, and like I built up some confidence, and I had some amazing realizations in 2024. And that's how I was able to be confident enough to make that post on October 10th, which was World Mental Health Day. And y'all, let me tell y'all something about life. I kid you not. The next day, on October 11th, the man that has always like stepped up and filled a gap in my life, the only real father like I really know, like, he died. I just don't want to be this crazy person crying on Beyonce internet. But you know, I'm very vocal. I don't have a relationship with my biological father. Like, I know him, obviously, but he's not been that man in my life. And my siblings' father, Sam and Alex's dad, like, he has always done for me just as he's done for Xanth and Alex. Like, there's no differentiation between Xanth, Alex, and Decrizia when it comes to our father. And he died on October 11th. And literally October 10th, I was talking about how the previous year was the worst year of my life. And October 11th, my life has completely changed. I don't know what I come here to say. It's just been a lot, and I just wanted to say, I feel like I have to give my people an explanation, because I don't want to be inconsistent, and I don't want to start and stop, but I've like made commitments for my self-development, my self-improvement, not only for myself, but for the community that I'm trying to curate, the awareness that I'm trying to spread, the policies that I want to change. And it starts with me. And I just wanted to give y'all a brief explanation as to why I went MIA on y'all several times. So obviously after that, like, I had to take some time and like get my mind right. But let me tell you something about God. Like, everything happens how it's supposed to happen and when it's supposed to happen, because had I not sought therapy and I didn't like get the tools, develop the mechanisms, baby, when I got that call that Philip Christopher Galanis was dead, I can't say if I would have been able to get through it. I can't say that. So I'm very grateful for all of the hard struggles and the hardships and the challenges I experienced in that year, because I was able to prepare me for something I never thought I would have to experience in this lifetime. I'm not perfect. I've never claimed to be. I'm literally, well, they say I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl with a chronic disease, like trying to figure it out and taking y'all on the journey, like raw, authentic journey, brutally honest, about my challenges in my life. And I do all that because I want things to change. I want people to know that they're not alone. And I want people to see that they can do something because there's representation. You know, there are people who is literally paving the way. And if I can contribute to that in some way, that's all. So moving forward, I am very happy to pick the torch up, pick the mantle back up, and just like get back to what I started. Maybe start over, maybe like wipe the slate clean and like start from the beginning and just go from there. But I just want y'all to also give me grace because I am human, baby. I am human. I am not perfect and I am figuring it out just like everybody else. I'm just taking y'all along with me. But I love my community and I want to keep doing what I'm doing. And hopefully the stuff I've been through, like someone else wouldn't have to go through it. So I look forward to that.